Hello, everyone. Thank y'all for joining us. I am here with Pastor Frank D.Stevenson of the St. Luke Primitive Baptist Church. He is a very successful man, and I'm so glad that he decided to sit down with me this morning and ask some questions about his vocation. So, Pastor, I know you got a busy schedule today, so I kind of want to get through this pretty quick. What is your area of vocation?
I am a senior pastor of the St. Luke Primitive Baptist Church.
All right. And how long have you been in this area?
So I've been serving as a pastor for the last 12 years and the last 9 years here at St. Luke Primitive Baptist Church.
Well, that's a long time.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
time flies when you're doing something you really enjoy, and this is something that I enjoy.
All right, and that actually was my next question. Do you still have the passion for your vocation?
Yeah, so every day I get up with a sense of urgency of how I can be a good pastor, a good leader, instruct God's people. I put lots of hours into studying. The entire vocation of pastoring requires that you give of yourself. People want to see you. They want to be able to touch you. They need you. And I enjoy it. You have to really enjoy it. I know some preachers don't enjoy the pastoring part, which is covering the people, but that's one of the things I really enjoy. God has called me, and I love this assignment.
All right, and so you still love your passion and you love your vocation. Let me ask you this, what led you to your vocation?
So I always wanted to be a politician. I had no interest in ministry per se because I didn't grow up in church every Sunday. But I really believe that this was an assignment that God had for me. I believe that this was God's assignment for me. And so, that's what led. I believe this was the call of God on my life to lead his people.
Okay, and you have a very successful ministry. Obviously, I know I'm a member of your church, assistant pastor at your church, so I definitely know. With your vocation, do you have any mentors that you kind of lean on, bounce ideas off of?
Yeah, absolutely. Bishop William Young in Memphis, Tennessee is, I kind of call him my cover pastor, particularly for my family. So at least once a month, I'll go to Memphis and stay at his house and just talk about ministry things, how to be a successful father, how to be a good husband. And there are others that I appreciate in terms of ministry and things that they have done. But he's probably the one that I use as my covering, if you would.
Okay, and he's still your mentor today?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and how hard do you lean on when it's like deep issues?
Yeah, so he has all of my secrets, right? he has all of the things that I've struggled with. So I really, really rely on his spiritual cover.
Okay. And since you've been pastoring and preaching, what obstacles have you had to come over to be where you are today?
So I'll talk about a couple of them. One is just tradition. Whenever you try to move the needle on tradition, you're going to come up against obstacles. So I came to a very traditional church, and from the very start, it was a lot of pushback relative to things changing. Some of the things weren't that I was changing them. It was just that as churches grow, things have to change. So if you're used to having an entire bench that you sit on, and the church grows and now more people need to sit on that bench, it's not that I'm trying to reassign who sits on your bench. It was just, one of the growing pains.
Gotcha.
So tradition has been an obstacle, and particularly when it came to the women ministers. That was probably one of the toughest times in my ministry, being certified in terms of credentials from Cumberland Association, being kicked out of that association for licensing women was probably one of the toughest obstacles I've dealt with.
Okay, and today, what is a typical day in the life of Pastor Frank Stevenson?
Oh my, it's a very, very busy day. So let's talk about Saturday. This Saturday, I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I went to the church. I went to Home Depot, picked up the products, rebuilt the fence, went to the hospital to visit 2 members in the hospital, had a chance to visit with Mother Brown and another member. I left there and went to a community project, the Rose Petal project that we had worked together on. And then when I left there, I went with my brother, and we did some things as it relates to getting the vehicles for the church together. Then I went home and fixed dinner for my family. So, I mean, that was one day. So, yeah, typically I'm going from sun up to sundown. The size church that we are, it requires a lot of hands-on from the pastor. And then I believe in pastoring or leading that way, and that you should be involved.
Okay, all right. And are there any more goals, aspirations that you have within your vocation or outside of your vocation?
Yeah, I'd really like our ministry to two things. One, I mean, we're in a stage now where we need a permanent new location, so that's a major goal. But also, I want the ministry to really focus more on helping others. And so I would love to see us doing more as it relates to 501c3. I mean, my goal is to have 150 jobs that are associated with this church that goes out and help people in the community.
All right. And final question, as one of your ministers, it is also an aspiration of mine to be a pastor, to have this similar impact that you have on the community and across this nation. What advice could you give me if I'm going into that vocation?
So, pastoring is not easy, but the best advice I would give you was to have a plan, have focus. You know, the book of Habakkuk said, write the vision. Like, you really have to have a plan, a vision. I've seen so many people just say, hey, I want to be a pastor, I'm going to start a church, with no plan, no vision, who do I expect God to send to me? How do I expect to grow them? What are the things I'm going to do? So, I mean, to really prepare yourself and also love the people. So, the most important thing about pastoring is not preaching. Most people think that's the component. That's what we do for 30 minutes on Sunday. The impact you make when people are going through sickness, those things are what they remember. They will remember being able to call you and say, hey, you know, my brother just passed. Those are the things that I encourage any minister who wants to be a pastor to have a love for and prepare for.
Gotcha. Well, for the last 5 years, I have watched you. I'm still watching you, and I can definitely say I am learning as I grow in ministry and as a person. And so I'm thankful for that God has placed you in my life, and that He has placed me at your church. So I'm excited to be a part of St. Luke Primitive Baptist Church, where Pastor Frank Stevenson is my pastor. We are doing great things over here on the Dead End Street, 135 Lewis Street. But I am so glad to be acquainted with such a man who is doing great things in this community and in this nation. So this is my guy. This is who I look up to, and I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you.
God bless you.